I knew I wanted this piece to be a little bit special and unique, and this is how it started out, just a plain pine piece. I did strip the wax off it because I wanted to work over raw wood. You'll notice I'm not priming because I wanted to water my paint down and make the paint soak into the wood grain. So as you can see, I'm building up layers very slowly with watered down paint. These are also known as paint washes. So I actually started out with a purple shade right at the bottom where I wanted the darkest colours, and then layered a mid blue over the top. This is called Cobalt Blue. I will list all of the colours that I've used in the description below just in case you miss any, because there are quite a few blues. And then I added a turquoise shade over the top. So the idea of this piece is it gets lighter at the top and darker at the bottom to create an ombre. And I don't know why, but blues are my favourite to do this kind of look with. They work really well together. And if you do struggle blending paint together to get an ombre look, or to get two colours or more to blend, try this technique because it is super easy and you can just keep layering the paints when you've watered them down to kind of melt into one another, and the paint doesn't dry as quickly, gives you a little bit more open time to play around with, and the watered down paint just works really nicely over the top of each other. So you can just layer them and play around with them until you get the desired effect that you want. I also added a little bit of white over the top, and I'm just dry brushing that over the blue because I didn't want it pure white. I wanted it to be a very pale turquoisey shade. So rather than use another blue, I just added a little bit of white. Again, I'm just adding more washes of the blues over the top. This is just going to give me real depth to my paintwork as opposed to it just being kind of flat colours. Once I'd faffed around, and there very much is a pun intended there, and got the blues exactly how I wanted them, I sealed the whole thing with a matte varnish. That's just going to help with durability. I then put some black wax in certain areas for some shading. As you notice, I did do a little bit of distressing as well, and that's just going to help define certain areas. I used brown wax on the interior, which gives a nice contrast to the outside, and as you can see from the close-ups here, you can still see a little bit of that wood grain. It gives a nice kind of rustic effect. And here is the finished ombre bench.